Hi, tonight from Groovy Entertainment. Today we're gonna book on record to play for you. Today book is the story of One Two Buckle My Shoe from 1979. So let's get started.
This is your Kid Stuff read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, it means that you are to turn the page in your storybook. Now we are ready to begin our adventure into the land of fun. Open your book, and we will start the story of One, Two, Buckle My Shoe. Remember, when you hear the chime, turn the page.
Poor Hilda. It seemed that she never stopped running, from early morning till late at night. It was run, run, run.
I'm tired,
She would say to herself over and over again. But every time she took a few minutes' rest, she would hear the mighty voice of the giant yelling.
Hilda, where are you?
She would run to the giant's room and ask in her tiniest voice.
What is it now, Sir Giant?
The mighty giant looked down at her and said.
Buckle my shoe.
Poor Hilda nearly cried when she heard this.
Buckle your shoe?
She would ask,
Oh,
and the giant would nod his head and say,
That's right.
Now it was not an easy task to buckle the giant's shoes. They were size 125, and they were nearly a half-mile high, and there were 70 buckles on the shoes. But Hilda held back the tears and said,
very well, Master Pip.
for that was the giant's name. She then began to buckle each of the buckles on his shoe.
Hurry,
The
hurry.
giant bellowed.
I have work to do. I have to go scare some of the little people in the valley.
After 3 hours, a very tired Hilda said,
There, they are all buckled.
Thank you, Hilda.
the giant said as he stood up.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Replied Hilda as he turned and started to leave. Just as he reached the front door, he cried out.
Hilda, open the door to the palace. I cannot, for I am holding my club in one hand and a sack with my lunch in the other.
So Hilda took a ladder and climbed up to the doorknob and turned it. At first, it would not move, but she pushed it back and forth, and finally it began to turn, and the door swung open. The giant thanked her again and said.
See you later.
Then he made his way down the path and was gone.
Oh, what am I going to do?
Hilda moaned, for she was still hanging on to the doorknob, and since the door had opened, she was far from where the ladder stood. Hilda thought to herself.
What have I gotten myself into now? Oh,
Then, from far down the path, the giant's mighty voice was heard saying,
Hilda, close the door. I don't want the front door of the palace to be left open.
Just then, the giant's pet goose came walking by, and Hilda let go of the doorknob and landed on the goose's back. She made a soft landing and said,
thank you, Goose.
and then she jumped off his back and pushed the door closed.
Oh, now I think I can rest.
As soon as the door was shut tight, Hilda started to make her way to her little room. Just as she was about to fall on her little bed, she heard the sound of Pip's brother, Orville Giant, calling out.
Pip, where are you?
Hilda went into the kitchen and very slowly climbed up to the window and called out.
Your brother is at home.
Orville, the giant's brother, was standing outside the palace windows when he saw Hilda hanging on to the windowsill. He said to her,
I have this bunch of sticks to give him. He can use them as firewood.
Hilda told Orville to leave the sticks. Orville nodded his huge head and dropped them right where he was standing. They made a loud clatter as they fell this way and that way all over the ground.
So long, Hilda!
Shouted the silly giant as he made his way down the path. Poor Hilda had to go outside and pick up all the sticks and stack them against the side of the castle. When she was done, she sat down under a tree and rested. Then she looked up at the neat pile of sticks and remembered the giant. Here she was sitting down, and the giant would be home soon.
And I must have dinner ready.
So she started to think about what she should make for him to eat. Now the giant did not eat like everyday people. When he ate, he would eat 20 times the amount that anyone else would eat. Then Hilda said to herself,
I think I shall give him a big fat roast hen.
So she walked back into the kitchen and opened the storeroom door. There on the shelf was the biggest hen she could ever hope to see. It was so big that it looked like it weighed nearly 100 pounds. Little Hilda used all of her strength to pull the hen out of the storeroom and into the kitchen. Then she stuffed it with chestnuts and pushed it and pulled it until she had it inside the oven.
Now I'll make a pie for the giant.
So she made a huge apple pie. Everything was ready as Pip the giant called out,
Hilda, I'm home and I'm hungry.
The giant sat down at the table and told Hilda,
I found lots of help for you in the village. Look outside the window.
Hilda looked out, and there she saw 18 girls standing on the path.
What are they for?
Asked Hilda.
Do I have to cook for them too?
The giant laughed and said,
Didn't you hear me? They are your helpers. Because you have been such a good worker, I am going to give you maids to do all the work.
Hilda could not believe her ears.
Thank you, Pip. I can certainly use the help.
At once Hilda ran to get the ladder and climbed up to the doorknob and opened the door to the palace. She called out,
Young ladies, you are here to work, so let's get busy.
and work they did. They buckled the giant's shoes, they opened and closed the door for him, they cooked his dinner, and waited on him hand and foot, and Hilda was in charge. For the first time in her life, Hilda was very happy to be working for the giant. Then, one day, to her surprise, the giant knelt down on one knee and said,
Dear Hilda, will you please marry me and be my wife?
Hilda nearly fainted, but she said yes before she could.
Oh, yes, Pip. I will be happy to marry you.
And so for the rest of her life, Hilda was treated as a queen. The best part of being married to the giant was that now she was able to order all the servants about. She kept the maids jumping just like the giant did when she first came to the palace to work for Pip, the giant of her dreams. She even made up a poem to recite to the servants to make them work faster, and it went like this. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a good fat hen. 11, 12, dig and delve. 13, 14, maids a-courting. 15, 16, maids in the kitchen. 17, 18, maids a-waiting. 1920, My Plate's Empty.
So that was the story of 1-2 Buckle My Shoe for 1979. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. Our next book will be Cinderella.